Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Leanne. In today's video, I have 3 new spring DIYs to share with you. I typically do a lot of neutral stuff because that's just kind of my preference, but I've been inspired to add some pops of color, and so I have one shelf that I'm going to decorate with using a little bit more color and see how I like it. So that's what we're doing today, but of course you can change up the color and designs to fit your style and your decor in your home. Anyways, without anything further, let's get into these fun Dollar Tree DIYs. Okay, so for this first DIY, I have this wooden cube. This is one of those boxes from the Dollar Tree that has a little drawer in it. So I guess it's a drawer, like the little cutouts on the drawer. This is the outer piece of it. And I have previously, obviously, done a DIY with it and stained it and painted it and put a heart on it. We're going to redo it. So I popped the heart off, and then I'm taking the scrapbook paper that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And this pack of paper is mostly Christmas, but I know this is like red and green, but it doesn't look at all Christmassy to me. So I'm using it. And I'm just going to cut my paper. This was perfect. I just cut it into quarters, and that was the right size for this box. I'm not going, it's just shy, like it's just small, a little bit smaller on each side, but it's okay because we're going to be covering that up. So it really did work perfect, and I'm just using a Dollar Tree glue stick and going to glue on each of the sides, or each of the papers on all 4 sides. And I'm using this little roller tool that Plaid sent me. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's supposed to be used for like Mod Podging, but it worked great even for this with the glue stick. And I love this tool. Really does help smooth things out and not have any bubbles and stuff. So now we're taking some popsicle sticks, and I'm going to cut 8 of them down for each corner. So 2 for each corner, and I'm just cutting them down to the proper height, making sure that they're, what they need to be before I go ahead and cut them all down. Then once they're all cut, you want to just sand them, try to smooth them out a little bit. They're not going to be exactly perfect, but smooth them out. And then we're taking this white paint by Apple Barrel, which is also from Plaid, and I'm going to give these a coat of paint, maybe 2, just getting all of the sides and the ends, and then just doing the front. I didn't have to do the back on these, and just giving them a nice coat of paint. And then I also have this wooden flower. This came from Dollar Tree as well in a pack from Valentine's Day, I think, for Valentine's time. And I just gave that a coat of white paint as well. I painted the wood aside so that I didn't have to do as many coats as I would if I painted it over the red. And now we're coming back to the box. I kind of go back and forth just so I can let things dry. And we're going to give this a coat of Mod Podge just to help it stick, and make sure to do the whole thing so that it has the same finish. And then once that was dry, we're going to take a little bit of hot glue, and we're going to do our little corners on this box. This is just going to be a little decorative planter box for faux plants, obviously. And I'm just putting these ones right all the way up to the edge. And then you're seeing when I do the opposite, I'm going to do the same thing. And I do as best I can to push it all the way up so that there's not like a gap in between where the 2 meet. And then any hot glue that kind of oozes out, I just kind of scraped it off with my finger or my fingernail and got that nice and smooth. If you're new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave, and make sure you hit your notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. I love sharing budget-friendly DIYs with you. We are now going to glue with a hot glue on our little rose, and this is just going to be the front of our box. And now we're going to do some finishing touches. You can see the kind of the gaps where the 2 pieces meet. And so I'm going to take this lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree and just fill that in the best I can. It actually works really easy, and let that dry and then give it a light sanding, and then I'm going to go back in to just touch up with a little bit more paint. And then I could have stopped here, but I have these little pearl strips from, I don't know what else to call them, from the Dollar Tree, and I used them recently on another DIY, and so I just kind of thought it would be nice to match that. You can see it right here. So I'm just cutting them down to size, and just going to put those on each of the popsicle sticks, if that makes sense. And that way all my pieces, they're like the same but different. Anyways, this is how it came out. I thought it was super cute, and I just popped a Dollar Tree plant in it, and that's it. Our next DIY, I have this wooden house that I picked up for Hobby Lobby on clearance for 89 cents. but you can get similar pieces at the Dollar Tree. And I just sanded it down, and we're going to give it a coat of pink paint. This pink paint I have had forever, and it had some clumps in it, so it kind of gave me a little bit of a hassle, but I made it work. And then I threw this paint out. I threw out quite a few paints when I got done with these DIYs. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I still trying to use these? They're not that expensive. But anyways, now I'm going to clean up where I got a little bit of the pink on the edges and just decided to do a coat of white paint all around the edges just to kind of, smooth it out, make it all look cohesive, I guess, and also to fix my little boo-boos with the pink paint. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And say hello in the comments because that helps me out and it's fun to chat with you guys. Now I'm going in and kind of dry brushing. I'm doing a little bit more on the edges of the house. And then I'm also just kind of going over like the whole thing just to give it a little bit of texture. I don't know. I just didn't want it to be like a flat pink. Just seemed too plain. And now I'm going to just wrap it with a piece of white yarn. I thought that was fun instead of twine, and just a piece of greenery that I had lying around. I'm not really sure what it came off of, but it was by itself, so I thought that would be a good piece. And we're just going to tie it on. I'm not hot gluing it or anything. I'm just going to tie it on. Then I'm going to tie a little knot, and then I end up sliding the knot over to like the side. You'll see in just a second, but we're just going to tie it with a knot, secure it. And then I'm going to make a little finger bow here with some more yarn. I just wrapped it around 3 fingers. I didn't want a really big one. You wrap it around a few times and then tie it in the middle. And then I'm hot gluing that off to the side on where the knot is. And I thought this was really cute, very quick and easy to do, and will be a nice little filler on my shelf. For our final DIY, I have this sign from the Dollar Tree. I've had it for quite a while in my stash, so I thought it was time to do it. Or time to use it rather. And then I have this sign which is from Easter, I think of last year, but they have something similar if not the same this year, and I'm just kind of playing around with it. So we'll come back to that in a second. So back to our main piece here, or our larger piece, I'm just using my scraper to pull off this raised part. It's just cardboard, and I'm just trying to get a level surface here. We're going to end up covering this rather than painting. I wasn't sure at first, so I just wanted it level. It didn't need to be perfect. But we are going to paint the edges because the paper that we're going to use didn't really go with the sign here, which was kind of too bad because I like it, but I didn't have anything that would have made sense with it. So we're going to just give that a couple coats of paint, and then we're going to go, while that's drying, we're going to come over to our other piece here from the little Easter sign, and I'm going to flip it over and paint more of that pink paint on it, getting all of the edges. I love this piece because I love all of like the ziggity zag edges, and like, I don't know, I think it's just fun. And we don't have to worry about the back. We're going to be gluing this to the other piece, so we don't need to cover up the glitter, sand off the glitter. Don't worry about it. Just give this a good couple of coats until I had a nice good coverage. I didn't want like the brown coming through on this particular piece. That is nice sometimes when you're painting with white and you want a rustic look, but anyways, give that a coat of paint. So going back to our larger piece now, I'm just taking that glue stick once again, and I'm going to give it a good coverage of the glue, and then we're going to put down some paper. This paper is from Hobby Lobby. It came in a large pack. It's got lots of this wood-looking shiplap type paper, but in different shades, and I'm just going to lay that on there, roll it out really good, and then flip it over and use my little cutting tool to trim off the edges. All right, so once again, going back to the pink piece, I've got this stencil from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using a stencil brush and trying to not have too much paint so that we don't make a mess of it. And I don't have a Cricut, so you could use a Cricut if you wanted. You could use some like window clings, like if you want to do an Easter one with some Easter window clings, that would be really cute. But this is just what I had. You could use stickers, whatever you want, but I'm going to use this stencil from the Dollar Tree and stencil on this phrase. It says happy together, and I thought it came out really cute. I wanted to show you this piece. That piece there in the back is used to hang up this sign, but because I'm going to use this on a shelf, I'm going to put that piece on the bottom just to kind of help weight down the sign. I figured if I put it on the top, it might be a little too top heavy and more likely to tip over. And I'm just going to hot glue this down. I was having hot glue gun issues, but
get some hot glue on there and lay this down. I was kind of mad because I did not get it centered. It's not awful, but it's not centered. But I will disguise that when I decorate with it. But here's how it came out. Very quick and easy, and so many different ways you could change this up to fit your style and your preferences. But I love how this came out.
Okay guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you are new, please consider subscribing before you leave and make sure you have your notification bell turned on so that you don't miss out on my future videos. And that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.